Welcome to the deep dive. We love plunging into these fascinating stories and hopefully pulling out insights that can genuinely change how you see things.
Absolutely.
Today we're taking a really unique journey. We're going back to, well, the heart of the Great Depression. Think 1933 New York City.
Tough times.
Definitely. And we're exploring a question that might just, flip your understanding of reality upside down.
Which is?
Can our inner world, our imagination, can it actually shape our outer reality?
It's a big one.
It is. And we're going to meet a man named Neville Goddard. He was a dancer,
Yep.
really struggling to get by back then.
And then there's this other figure, his teacher, Abdullah, and the Ethiopian rabbi, as Neville called him. Quite a character, apparently.
Exactly.
So our mission, really, in this deep dive is to unpack what Abdullah taught Neville. Neville called it the law.
The law. Okay.
Yeah, this idea that our inner world directly creates the outer. We want to see how it's supposedly played out in Neville's life, against all odds, really. And crucially, what does it mean for you listening right now?
Right. So expect some, maybe, surprising facts,
Yeah.
but also some really practical stuff on belief and imagination. This isn't just theory.
Not at all. It's presented as a real demonstration.
Okay, let's dive in then.
Let's do it.
So, picture Neville, 1933, New York. The Depression is biting hard. He's a dancer.
Yeah. And as he said, who would pay a dancer when you couldn't eat? Makes sense.
Totally. Theaters were closed, maybe, 3 out of 50 open in Times Square, something like that?
Yeah.
He had no money. And I mean, no money.
Not just a little bit short, broke.
Exactly. And what he wanted more than anything was to go home, back to his little island called Barbados.
Right. And this is where Abdullah comes in with this, well, pretty radical instruction.
Right.
Neville tells him, I want to go to Barbados. And Abdullah just looks at him and says, you are in Barbados.
Just like that. You are in Barbados.
Just like that. A flat statement, declaring it as fact.
Wow. Okay, so Neville must have been confused.
Completely. He said later he didn't quite get it at first, but he figured it out.
And the core idea was?
Simple, but deep. If you want something, you have to assume right then and there that you already have it.
So not, I will go to Barbados, but I am in Barbados.
Precisely. And then came the practical part, the imaginative act.
What did he have to do?
Abdullah told him, when you go to sleep tonight, sleep as though you are in Barbados. Visualize New York City, but see it 2,000 miles northwest of where you are sleeping.
So physically in New York, mentally, imaginatively in Barbados.
Exactly. And Abdullah's conviction here, Neville talked about it later with real awe, because months went by.
Nothing happened.
Nothing visible, no ticket, no money showing up. And Neville, he started doubting. He went back to Abdullah.
Understandable.
He said, look, if I don't get the next boat out, and remember, planes weren't really an option then for commercial travel like that, he said, I just can't go.
And Abdullah's response, still, you are in Barbados.
Even sharper this time. He apparently just cut him off.
Who said you're going to Barbados? You are in Barbados.
And then, get this, he walked straight to his room and slammed the door in my face.
And slammed the door.
Yeah.
That's intense teaching.
It really is. Neville must have felt, I don't know, frustrated, but maybe something clicked too.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, though, if the mind is that powerful. What about all the external stuff? The bad economy, the shipping companies, cancellations. Was that all just Neville's mind shifting things? Or did things just happen to fall into place?
Well, that's exactly Abdullah's point, isn't it? From his perspective, the external forces aren't separate. They respond to the internal state. So Neville goes home that night, still in New York, but he goes to bed assuming he's in Barbados, seeing New York far away to the north.
Okay. Yeah.
Breakthrough. Within 48 hours. 48 hours.
Wow. What happened?
A letter appears under his door from his brother Victor back in Barbados.
Okay.
And inside isn't just news. There's a $50 draft, which is decent money then.
Definitely.
And Victor writes that he's already told the steamship company, the Furnace Withy Company, to issue you a ticket and charge it to me.
No way. He just arranged it.
Just like that. And the $50, that was for anything you may need to get aboard the ship. Pocket money, basically.
It's like the whole world just rearranged itself around his assumption.
Seems like it, doesn't it? But there was still one little hitch.
Whoa. What now?
Well, Neville goes to the shipping company, excited, right, to get his ticket.
Yeah.
And they tell him, okay, we have your ticket, but you'll have to travel steerage until St. Thomas. Then you can move to first class.
So, not quite the perfect picture.
Not quite. But Neville was probably still thrilled, He goes back to tell Abdullah the news, thinking, okay, problem solved, mostly.
And Abdullah, let me guess.
You got it. Same unwavering certainty. Who's talking of going to Barbados? You have gone to Barbados and you went first class.
He didn't give an inch.
Not 1 inch. No compromise in the assumption.
So what happened then? Did he end up in steerage for part of it?
Well, this is the kicker. The morning he's supposed to sail, December 6th, he gets to the dock, or maybe they contacted him just before. The shipping company tells him there's been a cancellation.
You're kidding?
Nope, a cancellation.
Right.
And guess what? He's now going first class the entire way.
That's incredible. It really is like the universe just adjusted itself to match the feeling, the assumption.
Exactly. And that whole story, it just perfectly shows Abdullah's teaching, his conviction. He wasn't giving advice like, try thinking positively.
No, it was more like, this is how reality works.
Precisely. Assume the state of the wish fulfilled, hold it, don't waver, and reality somehow conforms.
Okay, so let's unpack this law then.
Yeah.
The core of it.
Right. Abdullah's biggest teaching, the foundation, was this. God is the God in you, your own wonderful human imagination.
Okay, hold on, that's it. That's huge. That's not how most people think of God, is it? As something separate, outside?
Not at all. It completely shifts the power dynamic. It's not an external deity pulling strings. It's your own consciousness, your imagination. That's the creative power. You are the architect. That's the real, the radical part.
It reframes everything. Like that line, you are the temple of the living God and the Spirit of God dwells in you. It makes it literal, almost.
Yes. And the crucial part of this teaching is the reliability. Abdullah insisted, he cannot fail, he will not fail. Meaning, your imagination, when used deliberately according to this law, has to work.
That sounds almost foolproof. Too good to be true. I mean, does it always work? What if it seems like it's failing? Are there pitfalls?
Good question. And that leads us to a really critical distinction Neville learned. The difference between the law and something else he called the promise.
The law and the promise,
Well,
okay? Different things.
Very different, often confused, but understanding the difference is key. The pitfalls often come from mixing them up.
So what's the law then, specifically?
The law is the, let's say, the operative power here in this life, on this level, and it's conditional.
Conditional how?
Conditional on you. If I dare to assume that I am what I want to be, and crucially, and I am faithful to that assumption, it will come to pass.
Faithful meaning you really stick with it.
Exactly. You live in that feeling. But if I am not faithful to it, it will not come to pass. Simple as that in theory.
So that's where, as a man sows, so shall he reap comes in. Your assumptions are the seeds you're sowing.
Precisely. It's cause and effect, but the cause is in consciousness, in your imagination.
Yeah.
The pitfall you mentioned. Often it's just not being faithful to the assumption, doubting, wavering, checking constantly for results.
Right. Okay, so if the law is conditional on our faithfulness, what's the promise?
The promise is completely different. It's unconditional.
Unconditional meaning?
Meaning it is coming regardless of the life we live in this world. It doesn't depend on your actions, your faithfulness to assumptions, anything like that.
So it's like a guaranteed happy ending for everyone.
That's the essence of it.
Yeah.
Ultimate redemption for everyone. Doesn't matter who you were or what you did in this, like rich, poor, good, bad, judge, murderer, victim. None of it matters for the promise.
So your fitness for the kingdom of God, as he put it, that's not the condition.
Correct. It's a universal guarantee, totally separate from how we use or misuse the law in our daily lives.
Wow. Okay, that's a mathful distinction. So the promise is just happening in the background for everyone. And our job here is to figure out the law.
That's a good way to put it. The promise is unfolding, it's working, it's coming. Our conscious focus, our practice while we're here is understanding and applying the law. That's how we shape our experience within this unfolding promise.
Okay, so bringing this back to, someone listening right now, how do you actually start applying the law?
It starts with that daring, that leap of faith in your own imagination. You have to dare to believe that you are what, at the moment, reason denies and your senses deny.
Go against the evidence, basically.
Exactly. And the practical steps, give that desired state, that assumption, the tones of reality. Feel it. What would it feel like if it were true right now?
Okay, get the feeling.
Immerse yourself in it imaginatively. And then this is key, drop it.
Drop it. Don't keep focusing on it.
Right. Don't keep digging it up mentally. Pick it up tomorrow morning to see if it's growing. You plant the seed, assume it's done, and trust. Trust that in his own good time, it comes to fruition. It requires faith in that inner power, letting go of the how and when.
Which also shines a light on the flip side, right? The danger of unconscious planting.
Huge danger.
Yeah.
Think about it. Reading horrible stories in the news first thing, getting worked up about gossip, judging others harshly.
Yeah.
Every time you react strongly, emotionally, imaginatively, those imaginal reactions are planting seeds. And according to the law, they must come to harvest.
So it's not just about deliberately creating good things. It's also about managing our reactions to avoid creating bad things.
Absolutely. It's about becoming aware of what seeds you're sowing, consciously or unconsciously, all day long.
Which brings us to another problem Neville mentioned.
Our short and faulty memories.
Right. We forget what we planted.
Exactly. We experience something negative, some unwanted harvest, and we deny the harvest that is mine. We blame circumstances, other people, bad luck.
When really, we might have planted the seed ourselves with some forgotten negative assumption or reaction weeks, months, even years ago.
Precisely. We don't connect the dots because our memory of our inner states is, well, faulty.
So what's the alternative then? How do we become more deliberate sowers?
Well, instead of automatically consuming negativity, the grim news, the social media outrage, choose differently. Invest that imaginative time reading things that are altogether lovely.
Like the Bible, he suggested, or poems. Things that uplift.
Things that inspire. Things that help you feel the way you want to feel. You're consciously choosing the seeds for a better harvest.
It really puts the power back in your hands, doesn't it? The message seems to be, you can be what you want to be in this world, even starting from nothing.
Yes. The only limits are the ones we impose in our own minds.
Neville himself seemed to live that. You mentioned he wasn't like part of the New York elite or anything.
Not at all. American citizen by adoption, not born into those circles. Yet he talked about being invited as an honored guest to almost every one of the exclusive clubs in the city.
How did he explain that? Did he use the law specifically?
His explanation was simple. He said it was because he never barred myself. It just never occurred to me that I didn't have all the qualifications.
He just assumed he belonged. Assumed he was welcome.
Pretty much. He didn't create a mental barrier, so the external world didn't reflect one back to him.
Wow. So you can go any place in this world if you don't put these barriers on yourself. It's entirely up to you.
That's the essence of it. The limits are internal, which means the key is practice. Consistent practice.
Practice it morning, noon, and night, as he said.
Exactly. It's like exercising a muscle. And while some desired states might take longer to materialize, Neville noted some things come up overnight. The law is always working.
And just briefly, touching on the ethics again. Because this power sounds so absolute. If you can truly create your reality,
then why not choose to live graciously? Why not aim to be kind, generous, a gentleman, a lady?
because those qualities themselves are a kind of creation, a tremendous accomplishment.
Exactly. They stem from applying that inner power consciously towards positive states, which naturally leads to a better harvest for everyone involved.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the profound takeaway seems to be the creative power, the God in you, is literally your own wonderful human imagination.
And its power is absolute if you apply the law faithfully.
Remembering that distinction, the law is the conditional principle, how you shape your experience here through your assumptions.
Right. Well, the promise is that unconditional, guaranteed redemption for everyone running in the background, regardless of how well we master the law.
So as we finish, maybe a final thought for you, our listener, to mull over. Given that as a man sows, so shall he reap.
And that you can't deceive yourself because the law will not allow you to.
What seeds are you planting today? Consciously or maybe unconsciously, with your thoughts, your feelings, your reactions?
And thinking about those short and faulty memories, what hidden harvests in your life right now might you be denying were your own creation? What seeds did you forget you planted?
Something to definitely reflect on. Until our next deep dive.